Oh, it's on, yo! It's happening right here, right now. When I saw this video on YouTube, I couldn't help but think, I've got to do it. My name's Dav Morse. I'm here to educate and inspire you to make the most of your money, to live generously and impact the world beyond just yourself. Now, when I saw this video, the video is entitled The Growing Problem with Personal Finance YouTube Influencers, in inverted commas. I thought, I wonder what this guy's got to say. I need to react to this video. I've never even made a reaction video. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. So here we go. Let's give it a shot. Let's react to this video.
I have some bad news for you.
Uh-oh. He's got some bad news for us. I wonder what this bad news could be. Let's find out.
You are probably not going to be rich.
You're probably not going to be rich. Do you know what? I think he's right. And I wonder if he thinks that's a problem.
Not a particularly positive message to start a video on, but it's something that people need to hear from time to time.
Do you know what? I actually agree with him. Most people aren't going to be rich. You know what? Being rich in and of itself isn't necessarily a good thing. It doesn't satisfy what's really within us. So let's see what else he's got to say.
Unfortunately, this is not something that most people want to hear. So, there is no shortage of people out there.
Ty Lopez, Dan Locke, Grant Cardone, and he's got Alex Becker.
Earn 6 figures a month by selling on Amazon, forex trading, or flipping real estate are full of shit. But they still all follow a pretty similar routine. Hey, you can get rich.
Yeah, do you know what? Those guys mostly seems like conning people out of their money. And there's great channels. Mike Winnett has got a great video called The Entrepreneur Formula. If you haven't watched that, I'll link to that down below, but that's definitely worth a watch. All these guys selling their Amazon FBA courses are all following the same pattern. So if you know what the pattern is, then you can be a bit wary of it.
As long as you are willing to do XYZ, while listening to the advice I give you. Again, when it turns out that this advice is something that you have to pay for, most people get wise to the fact that it's all just a massive scam. Of course, some don't, which is tragic, and there really genuinely should be more done about this. But that's a story for another time, or a CoffeeZilla video.
CoffeeZilla, he's a good guy as well. Exposing some of these con artists.
Instead, the focus of this video will be on a group of internet gurus with much more influence, a much larger following, and much more credibility. The personal finance personalities. So, it's time to learn how money works and find out why you probably shouldn't be learning to work your money like these popular YouTubers might suggest.
Ho 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 ho, strong words. You probably shouldn't be working your money the way these guys tell you to. Can I count myself as an influencer? Probably not. I think I need more subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, now's your time.
Now, I want to preface this by saying that I personally enjoy watching people like Graham Stephan, Andre Zick, and from time to time even Dave Ramsey as a guilty pleasure. They give people a sneak peek into their own success while presenting relatively dry content in a way that is funny and easy to understand. The problem is that personal finance should be boring. There is a common saying that everything you need to know about personal finance should be able to fit on a postcard, and some authors have actually done it.
Do you know what? I actually agree with this guy so far. Personal finance should be boring. All you've got to do is earn more than you spend less than you earn, invest the difference, and that's pretty much it. I came across this index card a couple of years ago. Everything you need to know fits on one index card. Now, I'll see if I can get that up. I'll link to the article down in Forbes as well. It says 9 simple money rules all on one index card. Max out your 401k or equivalent employee contribution. I think that's for the UK. Pensions, so if your employer matches your pension, definitely contribute to your pension up to the employer's match. Basically free money. Buy inexpensive, well-diversified mutual funds such as Vanguard Target 20 whatever funds. I've talked about index funds already on this channel. Check out that video. So far, I definitely think this index card thing really works. Save 20% of your money. If you can save 20% of your money, you're well on your way towards reaching financial stability, financial independence. If you're not at 20%, you can work towards 20%. Now, it doesn't say anything about giving on here. I am a big fan of giving money away. It releases the hold that money has on us. It blesses other people, and you get a blessing from seeing other people benefit from the money that you've given them. Pay your credit card balance in full every month. That's a no-brainer. You can set up direct debits to clear the balance. I didn't realize that you could do that when I first got a credit card 20 years ago. But yeah, you can do that. You can spend on the credit card and know that if you set up the direct debit for clearing every month, then you don't have to worry about when you're going to pay it off. It just automatically does it. Definitely set that up if you haven't done already. Maximize tax advantage saving vehicles like Roth, SEP, or 529 accounts. So in the UK, that would be an ISA account. I don't know many people that maximise the full £20,000 of their ISA allowance, but if you can do that, then go for it. I think the contributions in America are much lower. I think it might be like $6,000 or something like that. That's a much easier target to maximise. Pay attention to fees. Avoid actively managed funds. I've said that a lot of times. You don't need to pay someone to run your money for you. You can do it yourself with very little work. It's very, very straightforward. Just buy a bunch of diversified index funds. You could just buy one fund, a Vanguard Life Strategy fund. You can pick one of them, 100, 80, 20, any of the betweens. You'd be well on your way to being better off than most people. Make financial advisors commit to the fiduciary standard. Basically, that means the financial advisor commits to putting your needs first, not lining their own pockets. Promote social insurance programs to help people when things go wrong. I think that's probably an American-based one. Having that sense of social community, social care for each other is actually an incredible thing to work towards. Okay, let's get back to this video then.
But when you are committing to an upload schedule of 15-minute videos every single day, every single week, you are going to run out of things on that postcard to talk about. Now, this is no good, because as these people will show you, they make millions of dollars a year from their daily videos.
Okay, I get what he's saying here, but I actually disagree with him a little bit on this. I don't think that just giving someone a postcard saying, these are the 9 rules, just get on with it, is a good idea. What these guys like Graham Stephan, Meet Kevin, Andre Jick also do is they motivate people, they encourage people, they are cheerleading from the side saying, come on guys, you can do this.
Do it.
You can save more, you can invest more, you can get better returns, you can do better for yourself financially. And I think constant encouragement, constant motivation isn't a bad thing. I think if people are just left to their own devices, they just forget about it. Unless they've got strategies in place to actually do some of these things, then they're just going to get put to the side, life is going to take over, and they're not going to do these things. So having somebody to say, yes, remember you can earn more, you can spend less, you can invest better, having someone inspiring you, encouraging you, showing you what's best to do, because some of these 9 points aren't exactly straightforward. You might look at that list saying, I can't do that, but breaking it down like these guys are doing, there's so much stuff you could say on any one of those points. So I don't necessarily agree 100% with him. But I do understand what he's saying about these guys have to fill their slots, their upload schedule, and they're financially incentivized to do so. But I think if you're financially incentivized to do something which helps other people, then that's not necessarily a bad thing. How many of us would go to our jobs if we had to work for free, even though we're helping other people? We're financially incentivized to go to work.
They need to create more and more content than what this postcard can hold. So they branch out into a few different broad categories: personal stories about their success, reactions, predictions, and making up new lessons.
Uh-oh. I'm doing number 2 right now.
Now, to start off with, let's look at the least problematic of these formats: reaction videos.
Whew. The least problematic. Whew.
Reaction videos are everywhere on YouTube, and they get a bit of a bad rap. But when you think about it, this video format can range from absolutely terrible all the way to genuinely value-adding and informative.
Hopefully this is the second one.
The videos that people like Graham or Kevin make are normally towards the good end. They will normally react to personal finance by watching video series like Millennial Money, or they talk about high-end real estate, which is obviously an area of expertise for these guys. This is just a bit of light entertainment, and who knows, maybe we'll pick up a nugget of information along the way. No problems there.
Light entertainment with some information that you can actually use is much better than just entertainment for its own sake. Infotainment. That's what I try to do on this channel. Has anybody coined that word yet? Infotainment. That's what I'm here for.
Apart from when these reactions turn into predictions. Financial predictions are almost impossible to make. Even the largest financial firms in the world with teams of PhD quantitative analysts struggle to outperform regular market returns consistently, if at all. It's therefore frustrating to see someone like Meet Kevin make predictions about the future of a highly volatile stock like Tesla before his audience. And yes, I know, he gives the standard disclaimer that this is not financial advice.
Don't sue me, bro.
All of these personal finance personalities is guilty of giving this not advice pieces of advice throughout their content. This can range anywhere from invest into dividend stocks all the way up to buy a duplex and rent out the other side. Both pieces of advice are not necessarily bad, but are grossly overgeneralized and make no accommodations to the financial situation of their viewers.
He is absolutely right. Making financial predictions is literally impossible. You've got one expert saying this, one expert saying that. Nobody knows. But investing in index funds for the long term or investing in property for the long term is a really good idea. And it is certainly much better than not investing because you don't know what you're doing. If you're saving your money, then your money is losing its purchasing power over time. You need to be investing to keep ahead of the rate of inflation. And if you haven't heard of inflation and don't know what it is possibly the most important thing to understand about being financially successful. Check out that video that I made on inflation up there. It's actually a really fun one. It's one of the favorite ones that I've made in terms of actually creating the product, creating the video.
But then I saw this. Alright, this is where the serious issue starts.
Oh, it's about to get serious.
Making up new rules for people to follow. I hate to break it to you, and I truly do mean this in the nicest way possible, but Graham Stephan is an ex-real estate agent and a social media influencer. He does not know the 5 best investments to make you rich. For that matter, nobody knows any investments that will make you rich, and if they did, they sure wouldn't be sharing them on a YouTube video. Despite popular opinion these days, good investments should not double overnight. They should instead continually provide value over many years or decades and return that value back to the investor over the same time period.
Do you know what? I actually agree again. Picking individual investments that will make you rich is a fool's game. Nobody really knows. Paying attention and actually learning, improving yourself is the way to go forward. And listening to some of these guys is a way of getting some education. Oh yeah, this about getting rich quickly is absolutely right. You want your investments to grow slowly so that you get used to dealing with that amount of money. If you get rich quickly, you're not going to know what to do, and your character may not be ready for that. Having your character grow with your net worth is one of the key things to financially being successful, but also to being successful as a human being.
The generally accepted rate of return for a well-diversified portfolio is anywhere between 6% all the way up to 12% if you are doing really well. The bad news here is that it's not going to make you rich, just like we said at the beginning of the video. Well, actually, it's not going to make you rich unless you have a decent income already and are very disciplined about consistently contributing to this portfolio over a long enough time period for compounded interest to do its thing.
Investing over the long term, let compound interest do its thing, be consistent, earn more so you can invest more and give more and be generous more. Great tips.
Even then, it will make you old and rich, which is not what people want. What they do want is to hear about how the people talking to them got so rich, which is where we get the last type of concerning content. Personal stories about their success. Now, who doesn't love a good success story, especially when it's the tale of a scrappy underdog proving all the naysayers wrong, because their backgrounds are much more relatable to the average audience, which makes achieving fortunes for that audience sound much more attainable. Now, that's not to say that these backstories are all a lie, but more so that they are just the product of survivorship bias. For every Dave, Graham, and Kevin, there are thousands of people that didn't have the unique set of skills and the luck to break into the incredibly lucrative roles they found themselves in.
I'm 50-50 on this. I kind of agree with him. I think survivorship bias is a real thing when YouTube is constantly suggesting meet Kevin, Graham Stephan, Andre Jick. These are the guys that have actually made it. So even when it comes to something as simple like making a YouTube channel, you've got people like me who have got very small subscriber bases but still really keen on making the process, because I guess one day we hope that we can influence the lives of a couple of people. I'm doing this just because I love the process of creating content. I love the process of sharing my experience, sharing my knowledge, and seeing people take action on that. But some people are pursuing video making, YouTube, just as a career because they want to make lots of money. It's just a matter of fact that there are so many more people who are not successful on YouTube than who are successful on YouTube. Does that mean you shouldn't try? Having an attitude of, come on guys, you can do something about the situation that you're in, is a much better point of view than, no, sorry guys, that's it, you're stuffed. There's no hope for you. People who don't have hope don't have a lot.
Now, there is one last problem with all these personal backstories, and that is that they are used to justify all these other pieces of content. To demonstrate this, we are once again going to pick on Meet Kevin. One of his most popular videos is a tale of how he built up his property portfolio from $0 to $5.5 million by the age of 27. Through a series of flips and equity releases, he built up a highly leveraged position of real estate assets that were cash flow positive. Sounds great, but it is incredibly risky. Take a 5-to-1 leverage position in the stock market and most people will think you lost your mind. But take a 10-to-1 leverage position on a house and you're an investment genius. Most people don't realize how risky real estate can be.
I get his point here, and I certainly wouldn't be leveraging investing in the stock market, but I do leverage investing into property. Just because Kevin started with 0 and got to 5.5 million, it doesn't mean that we have to get to 5.5 million. Even if we start at 0 and get to 0.5 million, then that is much better than we were before. And I think even if we haven't got this extravagant, lavish lifestyle, we can each be making steps to making improvements for ourselves, to improve the quality of our own lives, to improve the quality of the lives of the people that we love, and to improve the lives of the people that are around us as well.
Now, of course, Kevin was lucky. He started investing at the start of one of the longest real estate bull runs in history, and in his defense, he has since leveraged his position significantly. But this is the definition of survivorship bias. Had Kevin started his investment journey in 2004, he certainly wouldn't be telling stories of financial success on YouTube. If anything, he would be lucky to be an extra on The Big Short.
You just keep going to the bank and you ask for more money. Hey, there's a bubble.
Now, if I sound overly cynical, let me follow all this up by saying that given the opportunity to make as much money as these guys are by uploading videos to the internet, I would sell out so damn fast.
I hope I don't sell out.
Can sound like salespeople.
But they are still selling something. They are selling you to keep on watching. Bleak realities about the tough road to reliably create wealth doesn't quite grab the attention like an open mouth and flashy headline. But in a world where attention is the new currency, you should spend yours wisely.
Watching this video, you're still like, all of this guy's investments is because of his YouTube money. You're 100% right.
And if you are spending your time watching this video, I really, really, really value your attention. Thank you very much.
Anyway, if you do happen to get rich by following in their footsteps, you should follow that all up by commenting how dumb I am on this video.
For this video, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you can take something away. I've taken away certainly that you should definitely try. You should definitely get started, even if you're not going to make it to $5.5 million. If you're making progress and you're going in the right direction, then that is enough to have that little sense of achievement, little sense of something good going on inside you. If you haven't checked out my video on inflation yet, that's pretty fun right there. And if you want to retire before you think you're ready to, check out that video right there. I also really enjoyed making that one. See you in a sec. Peace out. Hej Kenneth. Doing okay? Doing a video, I don't know,